Adelaide Diva Talks in the terrible.
Hey, my name is Melody. I played Astronomer, evil princess of space.
I think this is really cool because this just goes to prove that all women are evil. Notice there's only 2 guys up here and all the rest of them are evil women.
And mostly brunettes, too. Alright, so, do you guys have any questions? Do you want to line up? Line up? Questions, queries, inquiries?
You have to line up.
I guess I'll start us off. I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Oh, okay, that's not my question, just so you know. So my big question, and I'm a bit of an actor and I'm trying to get into the villain side. I'm trying to figure out, like, I've noticed most of the tendency is to either be extremely subtle as a villain or be extremely overacting. And it's like, I am a face. So I was hoping to figure out, like, what's kind of your guys' preference? Like, do you lean towards, like, being the biggest star or being the subtle, pardon my French, badass? Or is it better to find some sort of spot in between?
I'll go. I'm sorry, I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. I pretty much only ever play the bad girl. Usually she's understated. I think that's way more cool than badass. But in Power Rangers, we were not understated at all. We were Laura and Capri, so yeah, I was nice. But my personal preference?
Okay. It's alright. Mine doesn't even help.
I think it really depends on the part. Like, you will see how it's written and how you can kind of direct it and gauge it that way. That would be my advice.
It depends on the style of the show. I think if you're doing something like Power Rangers, which is a bit more over the top but a bit more campy, then you can play it as big as you want. But if it's like a drama, like you're doing Sherlock Holmes or something like that, then you maybe do it a little bit more understated. So it depends entirely on the show and entirely on the character and what vibe that is.
Fair enough, but I mean, what's at least your preference?
Oh, I like being over the top. It's super fun. Yeah, no. I like playing it to the nth degree. That's the most fun, in my opinion.
Also, I think that if it's a character that's like opposite from how you think you really are, then it's always it can be more fun to be something you're really not. Like, I played a couple of bad guys, and this was actually my most fun roles.
It's really simple. If you play the villain, you kick ass and you don't take names.
Alright, excellent. And thank you very much.
Oh, good God.
If it's alright, would this gentleman down here be our desk question? Alright.
I'm glad you got out of bed.
So, Astronomer.
Yes.
I want to know, did it hurt when Ecliptor, under Darkonda's control, put the robot things on you? Did that hurt?
No, it happened really fast. And I was brainwashed, so I could endure things like that.
Oh yeah, when Darkonda kidnapped you and changed you into Astronomer, did you feel betrayed when Ecliptor lied to you?
I kind of felt underneath it all that he felt guilty about it, because he was sort of my father, but shh.
Thank you. No.
Thank you.
My evil father is telling me I must introduce myself. Does anybody know who I am? We must say Rancic forever, but it's really Nadira always.
Herman was nightmare.
Hi, everybody. I'm Holden, and I was wondering, the villains of Power Rangers traditionally wear some very interesting costumes. So what was it like coming into work and seeing the type of outfit you'd have to act very seriously in?
I mean, there's nothing quite like squeezing into purple metallic spandex at 6 in the morning. Yeah.
I was actually, the day that I got the part, I found out I was pregnant, so I was like, So I was like, yay, a cape and a bustier and heels. Wow, and a wig and a mask.
Katrina was basically wearing roadkill on her head. That's what I looked like.
40-pound roadkill and bug eyes. So, you know, that was pretty interesting.
All I can say is the cycle outfits are badass, so.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Austin. So I know that being a villain, it's not just, oh, I'm angry, I want to destroy the world. What were the things that put you guys in the mindset of being a villain?
I think every bad guy or bad person thinks that they're the good guy. Like they think that they're doing the right thing. So it's always sort of that thing of like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. You're the bad guys. You just got to really believe in whatever it is your character believes in, because they think they're doing the good and righteous thing by exterminating all of humanity. And Power Rangers disagree. That's, yeah, pretty much the deal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. First, I want to say to Patrick, the phone booth scene in Silence is Golden is the scariest moment for me in Power Rangers history. I thought Ashley was goner. Hilary, what was it like to share Diva Talks with Carol Hoyt? Did you ever meet her?
I didn't meet her. When they told me they wanted me to do the series, I had to break to them that I was pregnant. So by the time they were ready to shoot, I was like 8 months pregnant, and there was just like no way. And I was also on bed rest. So basically, I know she took over the part. I really didn't have plans to come back, but they did keep calling me, and I was like, I will let you know when I give birth. I'll call you whenever the first one. So eventually, I was doing Star Trek at that time too. So eventually, we worked it out so I could do both and bring the baby to the set. So and then the last day, I guess I met Carol the first day I came back on the set, but I never really saw what she did, or I don't even know if she saw my work before. I was glad someone else could take over the character so that she could keep going. So I thought it was great.
Hi, question for Kane and Vernon. I'm curious if you guys knew that your characters would find redemption by the end of your story arcs when you were first cast, and did you play it that way when you first started with Rancic and the dealer?
We didn't know a lot, to be blunt. It was kind of interesting because actually in the series, Nadira was the villain and I didn't exist. And when they did it over here, they changed it and wrote the character for me to play. And we just had a lot of fun together playing father. And I think that was what made Rancic work so well, was that he was a father and he had a daughter and he couldn't actually go out and butcher the world because she would get all pissy with him. So he had to be very sneaky about it and sort of always had a reason for everything he did. But then on the other side of it, I think the character had a really wonderful soft spot for what he was doing. He was very genuinely human a lot of the time, which I think made it a really fun thing to do. And I didn't have to put up with her so much.
I think the writers watched our normal interaction in between takes and thought it was kind of interesting, so they kind of built a lot around what was really happening. along with the Rangers as well. So they created as we went along, and we rarely saw the writers. Sometimes they arrive on set and it'd be so cool. But yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi guys. I just have a quick question for Patrick and then for Hilary. So Patrick, how does it feel being the only one who didn't get a happy ending out of this whole panel? Because yours ultimately did get destroyed.
Well, you know what? You never know, because we did get destroyed a couple of times. We just went back, like roaches. So who knows? Boom, involved in Hasbro. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
And then for Hilary,
Yes.
how does it feel being the one season that won their season?
25 years later, the little bastards are still around.
Hi, my name's Al. I've not done much acting at all. I mean, like, I think it's like 20 odd years since I've done anything, but when I did, I loved playing the villain because, let's face it just gives you carte blanche to say and do things to people that are absolutely violent you would never even think of doing in real life. So what would you say was the most fun thing you ever said or did to a fellow cast member that you know for a fact you would just never even attempt?
I think the favorite thing I ever said as a villain, and it's not from Power Rangers, it's from Once Upon a Time, was, "Help you? I'd rather eat carbs."
I enjoyed throwing Elgar into space, into the fire. I like turning Amy, Jo, and Austin into evil creatures, throwing them into the fire. Yeah, it was very, very, very satisfying.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for all for coming. My name is Mason, and it's an honor for you to be here. This question is for Melly Perkins. What was it like to have Elgar play with Squidly? Like, no Squidly! Anything but name but Squidly!
It's really fun to torture Elgar. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But all of my aggressions were taken out on Laura.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, all you bad boys and girls. My question is, what was your favorite moment of like torture to the Rangers? Like the one time you really got them? Instead of poor Elgar.
Well, I blew them up, so whatever.
I guess mine was 25 seconds after I appeared on screen and I kicked the Red Ranger's ass and killed him. I thought that was pretty bloody cool. Didn't work though, he came back.
I'd say just any fight in which it was me against like 5 other people and still kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah!
Even wearing wedge heels and a face visor that I couldn't see through. I couldn't see anything except for a sliver, so I had to like memorize all the choreography and kick the crap out of my 4 stunt team. Yeah, it was amazing.
Got it? Oh, I was going to say this, all the fights between the Psychos and the other Rangers are just really good fight scenes. So just, I think Psycho Red kicked ass.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
My question's for the 2 cats. I was wondering where in the world you guys decided to stop the idiot act, because it kind of came out of nowhere to me. Unless I missed something this season.
Of course, like idiots.
In the show.
In the show, it stopped. That was actually a writer's decision.
Writer's decision.
I didn't hear the questions.
Her name is Mara. Remember in the show where it kind of changed.
I think that was just the way that we were kind of playing it, and then the writers, they looked at what we were doing, and then they kind of wrote more towards and geared it more towards how we were playing the characters. I think that's, you know, how it changed.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Mika. I come all the way from Finland. My questions go to Sheldon born in Wales. And it's actually a bit of a two-part question, but one like bigger part and short part. The first part is, what did you like best about your character's personality? Like how he behaved or anything? And the second part is for Vernon. With Rancic, he had this deadly disease that almost killed him one time. How was it to play the dying Rancic?
Fun, fun, fun. Rob the store, the boutique, knock off this bank. It was just a lot of fun. I got away with it because he was backing me up.
I think that whole backstory that they did for my character, which they'd never really done before, was rather cool. And I thought one of the best episodes was the episode where after, with Venomark, when I was walking down the lane after I had been infected, and it was raining. And I stopped, and there was a pool of water, and I looked in the pool of water and saw what I actually looked like, and just like fell to my knees and screamed at the heavens for why. They really made the characters, especially our two characters, very strong in their own personalities. I mean, mine was, when I was fighting the Rangers, I was having a lot of fun kicking ass. When I was with Madeira, I was always very gentle and very nice. And, you know, I even let the Blue Ranger date her, for God's sake.
Like I already asked you, how was it to play like this one scene where he almost died of his disease, like where he broke into the lab and stole the serum? How was it? Because you played the scene really good, and actually, when I was 4 years old, I cried because I thought he was really gonna die.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun actually doing that. It was hard to do, to be honest. But I enjoyed it, and it was just that nice thing of suddenly I think everybody realized that the only thing that kept Rancic alive was that serum, and that serum was controlled by other people. And especially by some bloody lunatic robot that wanted me dead. We won't mention any names. And it was like, you know, you had to realize that that was what I had to have to survive. I had to steal it to get it because he wouldn't give it to me. And I got it. I seem to get everything. It didn't really matter. I even turned into a good guy. Boy, is there nothing sacred.
Thank you.
Hi, it's nice to meet all of you. What was your name again?
Adelaide.
Right. Which would you rather do? Live in a world where vengeance rules, or live in a world where the purge is a real thing?
Damn, coming up with the hard-hitting questions. I mean, it's just shitty option A and shitty option B. I'd say maybe vengeance.
Better chance of living.
Yeah, higher chances of living and not being maimed and or tortured once a year. I mean, yeah, there are robots trying to like kill you, but all you really need is a good downpour and then a little short circuit. So, you know, I'd say vengeance definitely.
And one more thing, were you and Melanie, were you guys aware that your characters had a lot of similarities? You know, you both were sisters to a ranger, and you both got kidnapped and also programmed.
No, I just like
That is really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Scott, and I'm from Hendersonville, North Carolina. I have a question. Why do all the villains get angry with their minions for their failure to destroy the Rangers?
Yeah, it's obviously not our fault, so we have to blame them.
Yeah, it's just really hard to find good help, you know?
Like, when Lothar threatens to throw someone into a wormhole, Shimatsu fails.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
Also,
What other failures would you remember? What about...
What failures? What are you talking about?
when Venjik said Tanaya's failure to get the series green morpher made her obsolete.
Okay, that's a bit intense. It wasn't my fault. I mean, to be fair, I was like 1 against 5 people, so not my fault. Probably could have planned that whole situation a lot better though. Tonight tended to be a bit impatient and more reliant on Browne than Browne's, which is I think why she got her ass kicked on a regular basis. So a bit more future planning would have been a good idea for her. Yeah, she was young, can I say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hopefully a fun question. Between Power Rangers or any of your other roles, I can't help but wonder, what would you say was your favorite ad-lib?
Yeah, I ad-libbed my entire part. Yeah, we did.
Megaphone, yeah. Yeah, they just let me say whatever.
I like Viva la Diva.
All of my ad-libs have gotten cut out of all the shows I've done. I guess I'm not that funny.
My favourite ad-lib was screaming for someone to come and take the door off the toilet because my fucking costume had got me jammed. That was definitely my favourite ad-lib.
I did a lot of Herculesina and sorry for voice. And it was April Fool's Day and I was wearing a very, very, very little top. And with Kevin Sorbo, we were doing a fight and his sword, his scabbard or something, it ripped over my top. And I lost my top. It made it into the senior bloopers, and I said, and my what you call chicken fillets fell out, and I just said April Fools, and that's what made it into the. It was mortifying, mortifying. In an MCU, it was yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
We love you.
We love you too.
Hilary, we forgive you for blowing up the power chamber.
No need to forgive me.
Anyway, my question is for all of you. Patrick, you don't have to answer this question. Well, my question, I noticed that most of you were turned good near the end of your season. How is playing the good guy different than playing the bad guy?
Not as fun.
It was
no one there.
Yeah, not as fun.
Yeah, no one else.
Well, how?
It was nice to not wear spandex.
Yeah.
Metallic, like a metallic spandex onesie for once and to wear flat shoes. That was actually really nice.
I got to wear cute Hawaiian shirts.
Being a preppy couple was a far cry from me also, but we worked with it.
Oh, what about Melody?
Oh, well, I had to wear that leather getup as Carone, so the clothing part wasn't very exciting, but yeah, it was fun. No wigs, that was good. It was nice. Kind of one.
And 2 cats?
Well, it was nice to not look like Mickey Mouse on acid for a while.
Yeah, how do we feel? I think we just like Laura could be bad. More than good.
But our outfits were better when we were good. We got some,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's make it up.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Hello, question for Adelaide. Most of the characters in RPM got a full episode with a backstory and flashbacks. Were you disappointed that you didn't get one? Were you expecting one? And what might you imagine your characters' backstories would have been, if you thought that?
Well, I mean, we sort of got bits and pieces of Tanaya's backstory throughout the season. I think dedicating a full episode before like the big reveal, like psych, she's actually a human, you know, Black Ranger's sister. Surprise! That probably would have like ruined the surprise. So, I mean, I would have loved to have had an episode all to myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm an actor for a reason. I like attention. But you know, I really liked the way they handled that whole storyline, and I think the full episode to herself would have actually ruined it before we were ready.
So maybe you could have had it afterwards, after the reveal, like they could have happened.
Yeah, we had a lot of other ground to cover though, which was cool. And I'm just really glad that, you know, figured out vegetables, and she and her brother got to like ride off into the sunset together. So I have a little brother myself, and we're really close, so I really liked that they were like buddies again.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. And my question's not really Power Ranger related, I think it's Hilary. How was it working with the Golden Girls?
I'm Devine, and this is it. It was so fun. It was really a dream come true. Betty White was so sweet. They were all really sweet, and it was like doing a little play because you rehearse and then you shoot in front of a live audience, and they were so nice. And I was like early on in my career, and I had no idea, you know, like how that was going to be on forever. It's still on, and it's one of those shows. I was on Full House. I did a lot of great shows that just don't go away, so it was really fun. I loved it, and I can't believe how many people know me from that.
Yeah, I still watch almost every day Golden Girls. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. My name's Lincoln. I'm off the house. If you were up against a new team of Rangers, how would you handle it?
I'd poison their water supply. I don't need any more bruises. I'm not doing that hand-to-hand thing anymore. No.
I would team up with her because that's a really good idea.
There's no competition.
I'd get someone else to be my daughter that had a brain.
Have a nice day.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say thank you for coming, all of you. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. You're all bad guys, and you fight the Power Rangers, okay? Now, I'm going to ask a similar question. If you guys could be the bad guy of any DC or Marvel superhero, who would it be? Who would you want to, let's start from here to there. Who would you guys want to fight? Who do you guys want to fight? Who do you want to? Batman, Superman, any superhero.
I mean, just my favorite, like, villain in general is Catwoman.
Yeah.
Is Catwoman. But if I...
Have to fight a superhero?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be Lady Deadpool because he's not, I know he's not like a villain, but he's not exactly a hero either.
He
So
counts.
I'd love to be like from the alternate universe comic, I'd love to be Lady Deadpool, just in general.
I mean, who would you like to fight? Who would you like to be the villain of? I mean that's... You like
Harley Quinn.
No. I mean, does everybody know the question? I said if you not be the villain, I'm saying like, if you guys could fight a super villain, who would it be? That's the one. Fight. No, I mean, hold on, wait a minute. If you guys could fight a superhero, who would it be? I made a mistake right there with my word. If you guys could fight a superhero, what superhero would you fight?
I'd want to fight Batman because I feel like with a few like well-placed
Which one?
comments about his parents, he would just crumple into a small weeping child. I feel like he'd be an easy win.
I made a mistake about that.
I'd fight Catwoman.
Okay, you can fight her. Rat, who do you want to fight? What superhero? Be the bad guy? Who do you
I guess I'd kick Thor's ass.
I can see that. All of you guys, not just you, all your Cycle Rangers.
I'd say, for me, Spider-Man, because he's kind of small.
Which one?
What?
Which one?
Which one?
Not
the last one.
Okay, fine. You two, or you can say at the same time, you could give your one of each. What superhero do you want to fight?
I quite like, it's my Iron Man or for Deadpool, right? Is that okay?
You can count him as a superhero. You can find him.
Yeah, because can I thank you upon your approval? I just think he's a little bit hot as well, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Batman.
Superman?
Yeah.
What superhero do you want to fight? Who do you want to be?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Last. I mean, who do you want to fight? Like you could be the villain of a superhero. Who would it be?
Well, we were having a little discussion over here, and we were thinking Catwoman would be really fun. Is she like?
What about Iron Man? I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I remember last time I asked a similar question. You said you liked Iron Man, so why don't you fight him?
Oh my God! Yes, Iron Man.
What hero do you want to be?
That's
For the cats. Capri Mara notably had a crush on the Thunder Rangers, so I was going to ask your preference for which one each liked.
I think I liked Hunter.
I thought my character had a crush on Dustin.
Perfect.
And I tricked him, remember, and it was really bad.
Yeah, maybe in real life as well. Just say that.
My character apparently had a crush on everyone.
Perfect answer.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you all for coming to see us. Adelaide, Hilary, good to see you both again. Patrick, I have a question for you. When I first saw Silence is Golden, I was probably in my teens, maybe high school finally, because I started rewatching Power Rangers finally. Now, when you got the script for Silence is Golden and you and two of your castmates are going to appear in your human forms, now when I saw you appear in human forms, I was like going, oh shoot. I was like, what was your reaction to it, to for being in your human forms,
Actually, when I auditioned for the part, I auditioned for Red and Psycho Red, and our casting director said that she preferred me being a villain. So actually that was the very first episode I ever shot, was Silence is Golden. And then after that, I was hired to do the looping. So I started out as a human.
Ah, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Thank you.
That's a cool cap that you have too. Sea Shepard, they're doing great work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Max, and this question is for Vernon. What was your reaction when they did the movie episode, when you found out that they were going to do a parody of the Mad Max movies, given that you were in one of the Mad Max films?
Yeah, they actually asked me if I would mind if they did that, and I thought it was a really cool idea that they did that double episode with the kids all playing their favorite superheroes. And we all got to play Hal in Universal Studios, and I got to wear a tutu. So, I mean, shit, what else could I do? It was fun. I liked it. I really did. I thought that was one of their better episodes that they did.
Thank you.
Hello. This isn't really a Power Ranger question. This is for Melody. I remember you guest starred in an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, where you babysitted the boys. I just want to know, what was it like working on that show?
It was so much fun. The kids were really, really sweet and funny and polite, and I was kind of nervous, but it was a good time. Everyone was super nice. Sorry, I don't have any juicy details.
That's good. Thanks.
Hello.
Hi.
I just had a question for all of you. I just wanted to know if you had a villain that you liked growing up, and if you brought some of that to your roles as villains on Power Rangers.
Well, putting on that costume was very similar to people. I felt like and later Browne feature, I've heard that the original Chico, they fashioned that after the so in a sense, I felt like that.
I mean, I didn't base my character off anything, but I did, and this is really embarrassing to admit, but when I was young, I did have a huge crush on Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. I hope that's helpful.
I grew up on a farm, and I guess I based it all on a very large bull that pissed me off a lot. I didn't have any nasty people. My dog was about the nastiest thing I knew. So it was me all the way through.
I grew up in an Indian village in Alaska, so we didn't have television. We just had the natives who would fight me. And that's probably where I got that.
Thank you.
Yes.
My name is Gary. My favorite monster going method was beetle pox torpedoes. For you guys, which one had the best monster going method for all you guys?
Had the best what, I'm sorry?
Monster going method.
Monster.
Yeah, the method is to use, like, the tops had torpedoes to use, the big monsters are big, that sort of acting.
Yeah, and with the cats having the holes, yeah, and you had the lasers. Thank you for
You guys
reminding
know
us.
everything. I did not have to do with drawing monsters. I just chilled out. I just did all the work. That's right.
Yeah, I guess mine was pulling swords out of my body, and my body didn't collapse into a little gelatinous blob. I mean, come on, I pulled my backbone out every other episode and used it as a sword, and yet I could still walk. I am a superhero. I guess that was mine, and I carried around those little vials with my idiot henchmen in and dropped them on the ground. Yeah. Come to think of it, good God, it was weird.
I liked my fingernails. We had 3 sets, and they were deadly. But they ended up in the potato chip bags a lot, and I was in trouble for that.
I think it's more I got pissed off by Red Ranger. The angrier I got, the monster grew.
Thank you. Hi guys. Hello. I would really like some tips from all of you for how to be more evil.
First of all, that voice. You've got to change that voice.
I think she looks evil. She's well
Did your
dressed.
boyfriend put you up to that?
He thought I was going to ask something else. I think you have a high voice.
Yeah.
Trick people like butter wouldn't melt in your mouth, but really you can have some.
It's much more menacing. Yeah.
I like it. All right.
They won't know what happened.
I would say just generally work on being more selfish. Like really selfish, just develop this really overinflated sense of ego where you just think you're exactly. Yeah. Just fill your Instagram Explore page with memes telling you how great you are. And just sort of go from there, like 100 pages, I'm the best ever, I'm the best ever, I'm the best ever.
Let them do it. Let them do it.
Is there something wrong with that?
No.
Next time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My question is for, first off, my name's Jeff. My question is for Kate Sheldon. So we know Rancid turned himself in. So what was the supposed fate of Nadira after Rancid turned himself in?
What was the supposed what?
Supposed fate, what became of Nadira after Rancid turned himself in?
Well, you know the Blue Ranger. We had to keep it secret, though, top secret. Couldn't reveal it till the end with Wild Force, where we walked off into the woods together.
It's good enough, eh? Anything goes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you. And my question is for Carla. Out of all your henchmen, you don't have to pick me. Who was your favorite?
Scorpina.
Hi, my name's Will.
Hi, Will.
huge fan of Once Upon a Time. What's it like working on a show with a huge fandom as much as the Power Rangers?
Honestly, it was awesome. I really enjoyed my time on that show. Everybody was really welcoming when I came on. My character was really fun, and I got all the best lines. It was awesome. Because there is such a large and devoted fandom, you definitely want to be respectful of the fandom and respectful of the show, and just make sure that you're not cracking any jokes that could be misconstrued. Because that fandom is very loyal and very protective. So just respect for the fandom and respect for the show was really foremost in my mind when I went on that set. And I feel like I did a pretty good job. But yeah, the whole fan base for that show was incredible, and I had such amazing time on that show. And I miss it. I'm sad it got cancelled. Sucks.
It's a great show.
It is. It's fantastic.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is for Adelaide as well. So I'm a huge fan of Rain. I wanted to know how was it like working on Rain?
How was it working on Rain? Oh, it was fantastic. It was like the show of my life. Love your little throwbacks, by the way. Super cute. Yeah, no, that was the formative job of my career. I'd never been a lead on anything. Every year got better and better. Our crew came back every year to be with us and turned down bigger jobs or more money so they could come back to us. And they were my family. I was with them first thing in the morning till last up at the end of the day. Yeah, every year got better. The people got better. We got smoother, more efficient. We were happier. It was the best job I've ever done in my life, and I miss it every day. It was wonderful. So much fun! And I got to make out with lots of cute boys, so it was nice.
And do you have any upcoming projects?
Oh, God, no. I can't get a job to save my life this year. I'm actually taking a little bit of a break, just because I've been working for the last 6 years kind of non-stop, and I'm retired. I'm also moving house, and I'm working on a YouTube. On the YouTubes. Editing's really hard, guys. Editing software is a motherfucking nightmare. And I'm not tech savvy to begin with. But yeah, I'm just chilling, living my best life for a minute, and hopefully I don't chill for too long, and I can get more work. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Finland strikes again. My question is to all of you, can you still do your evil laughs?
I've lost my voice, so...
1, 2, 3.
Question for Melanie. Sorry. Question for Melanie. When you played Carla in Lost Galaxy, especially, you seemed to play it very differently from Astronema. Did you try to do it as a completely different character? Did you try to hold on to certain mannerisms of Astronema from earlier seasons, or from the earlier season, I guess?
Yeah, I think in the beginning especially I tried to do that, because she was really transitioning from being mean. So yeah, but then I just sort of did it myself, honestly.
Okay, as the character change. Thank you.
I'm back, fear me? So this is for the two gentlemen. I noticed you guys probably a bit taller than average, yeah?
Taller?
Taller than average, unless I'm just Vernon. I'm so sorry, man. But so in that case, Vernon, my question for you, did height ever work at your advantage or your disadvantage while acting or being in a suit and all that?
My size sometimes works against me. I remember I was up for a role in Star Trek and I didn't get it because I was too big for the costume.
That feels, man.
I mean, if you believe everything that's on the internet, I'm 5'10". Somewhere in there, I grew in the last couple of years to be 6'1". So, we just keep growing.
I mean, reach the ceiling, that's what we do, getting the stuff off the top shelf.
Yeah, I don't think you know what, size has nothing to do with what you do as an actor, really. I mean, you could be small and highly intimidating. I mean, there are some little people who I'd like to step on, but, you know, and there are very large people who are just very gentle. So I don't think size has anything to do with it. I think what has to do with it is the person in the body. Period.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hello, Mark.
I guess my question to you is, have you imagined yourself being a villain from a different Power Ranger series? Yeah.
A different season of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I would like to be Astronomer because I like Ralph.
I have to agree with that, astronomer for sure.
I want to be David Tungsten.
Yeah, I wouldn't change either.
Okay.
Hi, you all look very nice today. I wanted to ask Adelaide about Noreen. Mary Queen of Scots in real life, she was considered like a villain. What personality or characters from acting as well did you admire from her character?
I really loved her passion and her intelligence, because the real Mary Queen of Scots spoke like 7 languages and rode horses and was incredibly well educated. The only reason she was a villain like back in those times is because she was a chick. Like, if she had been a man, she would have ruled Europe. But hey, that's how the world has been since time immemorial. But yeah, she was a very like passionate woman. She's a very intelligent woman. Don't think she's a bit impulsive. I don't think she thought things through as much as she should have. But I really admired that about her. And then the way they wrote her character, she was like very, very loyal and very earnest. And I'm loyal but not terribly earnest. I'm a bit jaded at this point.
And another question, if there could be an alternate ending for Noreen, what would it be? If
If I'd been after any other show?
No, Noreen, the show, the ending. If you could change it, what would you make it?
Oh, if I could change the show or be a different character?
No, like the ending.
The ending?
Yeah.
Well, Francis never would have died, and they would have lived happily ever after and had a bunch of babies, and I would have gotten to play with babies on set all day. Yeah. That's what I would
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's about it. So let's give another round of applause for our panel of villains. Thank you all very much for your lovely contributions towards ending the world. Next up, we do have shades of pink. So that will be pink, purple, and white female Rangers from throughout the franchise. So feel free to spread that around.